भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपकम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् योगिनं विश्वनाथाख्यम् अस्मत्तातस्वरूपिणम् आत्मलाभात् परं लाभं वक्तारं न कदाचन गीतार्थग्रन्थकर्तारं श्रीगुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम् योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मे वाचं धृतिं बुद्धिं प्रचोदयात्। ॐ नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमः। जन्माद्यस्येतोन्मयादितरतश्चार्तेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृतं यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मप्रोञ्जितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम् श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातराजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। ॐ नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमः। Skanda 5 today, but I just want to go back to the Dhruvastuti thing and just add one more information or observation. The 10th sloka which I was doing, Tvam Nityamukta Parishuddha Vibuddha Atma Kutastha Purusho Bhagavatham Yadbudhyavastiti Makhanditaya Swadrishtya Drashtastita Vadimakho Yativitta Se. I suggested to you that the 3 lines, namely the first line, second line and the 4th line, read with the 3rd line, stand for the 3 padas of Gayatri. One more observation on that. The 4 lines stand for the 4 Mahavakyas of Vedanta. Tvam Nityamukta Parishuddha Vibuddha Atma. Tvam Atma. Tvam Atma. You are the Atma. I am Atma, Brahma, Atharva Veda. Mahavakya. I am Atma, Brahma. This Atma is Brahman. The Brahman that is standing before me is Atma, Tvam Atma. So, Tvam Nitya Mukta Parishuddha Vibuddha Atma, that stands for the Atharva Veda Mahavakya. Kutastha Adi Purusho Bhagavan Stridisha. Second line. Kutastha Adi Purusho Bhagavan Stridisha. Kutastha Bhagavan. Kutastha is the one within me, Sakshi. Bhagavan, who is standing before me. Tat Tvam Asi. Samaveda Mahavakya. Tat Tvam Asi. You are that. You are that. So, Kutastha Adi Purusho Bhagavasya Dhisha. That stands for the Samaveda Mahavakya. Yad Buddhyavastiti Makhanditaya Swadrishtya Drashta. Yad Buddhyavastiti Makhanditaya Swadrishtya Drashta. Who, residing in my buddhi, is able to see everything as Sakshi. The consciousness, that is the Brahman that is standing before me, is the one who is in my buddhi as Sakshi. Aham Brahma Asmi. Yajurveda Mahavakya. Aham Brahma Asmi. Brahma Asmi. Okay? Then what remains? Rigveda Mahavakya. Rigveda Mahavakya says Prajnanam Brahma. Consciousness is Brahman. Consciousness is Brahman. Drashta stita vadimako yativitta ase. Drashta ase. You are remaining as the Sakshi. How does he remaining as the Sakshi? He is the consciousness which is sparking me to do the thing, to act, to everything. Prajnanam Brahma. The Brahman that is standing before me is my Prajnanam, my consciousness. So the four Mahavakyas are also embedded in that shloka. So a beautiful shloka that way, as I told you the other day. That was one thing. Another thing which I wanted to talk about Dhruva Stuti is this. Yeah. Dhruva had the darshan of the Lord. The Lord came to him in 5.5 months. There is a standard norm, theory in all of Hindu literature, Vedic literature, that take any mantra, the number of syllables there, Panchakshari, Shodashakshari, Dvadashakshari, like that. Right? All these things, see, each one of them, the rule is, the number of letters in that, so many lakhs, if you repeat it with concentration, that the Lord of that mantra will stand before you. He repeated what? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That is a Dvadashakshari mantra. 12 letter syllable mantra. Because in Sanskrit that syllable is the letter. Right? So Dvadashakshari, 12 lakhs. Now he did the tapas for 5.5 days. You don't know how many hours he spent each day. It is left to your imagination. It doesn't say it anywhere. And you can yourself see how long it will take to repeat one mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I think it takes Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 3 seconds, maybe 4 seconds, maybe 5 seconds. Now you do a calculation. You do whatever you want. How long it takes, and how long did he do the tapas every day, 5.5 months, all those things. You will come somewhere near 12 lakhs, you will see that, and the Lord stood before him. Anybody wants to experiment on any mantra, is welcome. The intensity, the dedication, the persistence, the consistency, and the concentration are all needed. Anyway, I am not sure where this is exactly stated. That the point that the so many lakhs of times the number of letters in the mantra will produce the Lord before you. But I have heard it said by great expositors and so on. So I am sure it must be somewhere, but I am not able to get help on that. Anyway, today we are going into the 5th skanda. One more almost announcement. Today is 2nd. 9th we will have one more class, and 16th. 16th we are closing. Today it will be, what is this? Jadavarsa Upachyana. On the 9th it will be Ajamila Upachyana. And on the 16th it will be Prahlada Charitam. And with Prahlada Charitam we end this series. If there is a future opportunity, we will see. We will continue. That is where we will stop this series. So now to the 5th skanda. 5th skanda starts with Priyavrata Vamsha. The Priyavrata, Swayambhava Manu, the original first person created, and he and Shatarupa, the first biological union, and then the Vamsha developed. He had 5 issues. Priyavrata, Uttanapada, 2 sons. Akuti, Devahuti, Prasuti, 3 daughters. We have talked about some of the others. Uttanapada's son is Dhruva, and we talked about it. Then Dhruva's Vamsha also goes on, but we are not dwelling on that. We are taking up the Priyavrata Vamsha here. Priyavrata's son was Agnidra. There are stories about that, but we are going forward. Agnidra's son was Nabhi. He's a great king. There's a whole chapter devoted to him. Nabhi's son was an avatar. See, the Lord descends as an avatar on various occasions for various purposes. Nabhi's son Rishabha, called Rishabhadeva, is one of the Tirthankaras of the Jains. Rishabhadeva gives a Vedantic sermon here. There is a Rishabha Gita, so to say. I am going to say only one shloka from that. Rishabhadeva is the Lord himself as an avatar. Rishabha had 100 sons. The foremost of them is Bharata. We are going to see the whole of today. We are going to see Bharata's story. Bharata is also called Jada Bharata, as you will see. Why that name? You will see that. This Rishabhadeva ruled for long as a model king, ethical, moral, religious, dharmic king, and he left at the time of his departure to the forest to do penance. The Lord is coming down as an avatar, and he goes to the forest to do penance, tapas. He wanted to set up an example. His teaching, in Rishabhadeva, as I told you, he has been taken up as one of the Tirthankaras in the Jains. It mentions in that Adhyaya here that this Rishabhadeva will be taken up as a god by atheists. It says that. Because the Jains do not accept God. Right? It says that he will be taken, his Upadesha will be misinterpreted and so on. Now it is for you as a PhD student to work on whether this was written after the Jains came, after that thing was done, all those things. I am not getting into that discussions. I never get into the chronology part of it. Because the belief and science, they become controversial there. What do you believe and what part of it is science? And then you go into mundane discussions. Anyway, Rishabha's sermon to his 100 sons, at the end of at the point of his departure to the forest, he explains, Mayam deho dekhabhajam triloke kashtam kamanarhate vidbhujam ye tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam shuddhet yasmat brahma saukyam tvanantam. Boys, 100 sons. So he tells them, you are all going to be great kings and so on. Now, don't take this body seriously. That's how he starts. Nayam deho dekhabhajam triloke. It goes through much happiness and much unhappiness. But it is not meant to be utilized for sensuous enjoyments. It is not meant to be utilized for sensuous enjoyments. The body is to be utilized for getting out of the body concept and going to the Atman. Mahatsevam dwaram ahur vimukte samodwaram yoshitam sangi sangam. I will tell you only, Rishabhadeva is speaking. The Lord is speaking. I will tell you the two things, only two things. One path leads to moksha. The other path leads to hell. The path that leads to moksha is the service to noble sadhus. Mahat seva. Mahat seva. And he defines who are the Mahat. Mahantaste samachitta prashantaha vimanyavas surdhas sadhavoye. They are the sadhus. They are samachittaha, of persons of equanimous mind, prashantaha, of having total peace, vimanyavaha, without anger, vimanyavaha, manumanya means anger, sughradaha, they are friends of everybody, they love everybody. So that kind of definition, mahat seva. Mahat sevam dwaram ahur vimukte. For moksha, the door is mahat seva. The service of such noble people. And then tamodwaram, the door to darkness of hell, he uses a very interesting word. Yoshitam sangi sangam. Yoshitam sangi sangam. In the case of the door to moksha, he said, the association with noble people, that's all he said. That's a direct. But here he says, even a secondary association with people who are associated with women of easy repute. Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. Yoshitam, women of easy repute, Sangi, their association, whoever has that association, with them if you associate, it's a kind of a secondary association. You see the point here? Secondary association. Yoshitam Sangi Sangam Tamodwaram. That is the gate to hell. And then he develops on that, and there are about 17 or 18 shlokas. What are the means of upliftment? What does it mean to be spiritually degrading? All those things he talks about. We are skipping that part and going to the further. What happens is this Rishabhadeva, after that, leaves for the forest as an avaduta, totally nude, with disheveled hair, like a madman. Jadanda Muka Vadira Pishachon Madakavate. Jadanda Muka Vadira Pishachon Madakavate. Avaduta Vesho Abhivashyamanopi Janana Grihita Mona Brata Tushnin Bahuva. You see, it starts into prose now. The whole fourth skanda is in prose. So long as it was in verse form, in prose. Maitreya and Vidura were doing the conversation, and Shuka was repeating that conversation. So Shuka did not want to do anything to the way in which it was narrated by Maitreya in verse form. But Shuka himself is a Brahmajnani. Today we are going to talk about the great Brahmajnani, that is Jadabharata. So the Brahmajnani, he is speaking, he doesn't want to be restricted by any meter, number of syllables, rhyme, anything like that. He wants it to be totally free, probably. I mean, this is our conjecture, reader's conjecture. So this thing is all in prose, free prose, and it goes in a beautiful style. Jadam Dhamuka Vadira Pishachon Madakavate Avaduta Veshoha Abhivashyamanopi Jananam Grihita Mona Prataha Tushnim Bahuva. It's a simple sentence. There are going to be sentences which are long like that. You'll see, you will have samples. So Jada Andha Mukavate. Jada means total idiot, inert. Andha, blind. Muka, dumb. Badira, deaf. Pishacha, like a ghost. Unmadaka, madman. Like that he roamed about. Rishabhadeva roamed about him. And then he mentions the countries. Andhra, Karnataka, Kuta, something like that. Kur, they say it is Kur, like that. And there are countries mentioned. And then he simply lost himself in the woods and was consumed by forest fire. The body was consumed by forest fire. And then he says, why this avatara? I am avataraha rajasopaprute kaivalyopashikshanaarthaha. Rajasopaprute. This avatara is for those people who are dominated by rajas, to teach those people, to teach them into ways to this, on the spiritual path. Just for that alone, this avatara is explained, the significance of the avatara. Now, Rishabha had 100 sons. The first of them was Bharata. So, Bharata ruled the kingdom. The number of years mentioned here is simply unimaginable. Ayuta Sahasra. Ayuta is 10,000. Ayuta Sahasra is 10,000, 1 crore. 1 crore of years he ruled. We have to do research on this, right? Because even the other criterion, in Kali Yuga it is 100, Dwapara Yuga it is 1,000, Treta Yuga it is 10,000, and Krita Yuga it is lakh. 1 lakh of years, 100,000 years is the lifetime normal Krita Yuga. Here it says he ruled for 1 crore years. First of all, I thought that there was some mistake in the English translation. I looked into another Tamil translation. I looked into the word myself. There is no doubt that crore is mentioned here. And in Narayaniyam, when Mantaram, by the way, Narayaniyam misses the Jadavartha Upakhyana. Narayaniyam, which is a complete summary of the entire Bhagavatam, exactly misses the Jadavartha story, which is about 8 chapters here. It misses it. And so this Anantarama, Shengalipuram Anantarama Dikshidhar, who is a great expositor of Bhagavatam, he himself added 3 more Shatakas, 3 into 10, 30 shlokas to Narayaniyam and said, let this be my contribution to that, and that is there. There he mentions again 1 crore of years. Anyway, Bharatastu Bhagavataha Yada Bhagavata Avanitala Paripalanaya Sankintitaha Tadanushasana Panchajanim Vishwarupaduhitaram Upayeme. Vishwarupaduhitaram. Vishwarupa had a daughter called Panchajani, and Bharata married her. There are 5 issues of that. We will continue that later. Now the question is, after ruling for 1 crore of years, he left the kingdom, the entire country, in the hands of his sons, and Pitrupaitavaham yata dayam vibhajya. You know Daya Bhaga, and there are 2 kinds of division in Hindu civil code. So this is Daya Bhaga. Yata dayam vibhajya swayam sakala sampanna niketate swaniketate pulahashramam pravapraja. Pulahashrama is somewhere in Assam. Gantaki, on the river, banks of the river Gantaki. Gantaki is something flows into Ganges, somewhere. Right? Yes, Ganges. Pulahashramam pravapraja. The Pulahashrama is described, beautiful. Now the purpose is to be a total renunciate, total sannyasa, and a complete dedication to the Lord. That is what Bharata is doing. Because by the time he has ruled, he has done so many yajnas, so many archanas, so many yagas, and so much of worship that the Lord was residing in his heart, and that was visible to the others, it says. There in that Pulahashrama, he was doing his tapas, and then it happened. What happened? Ekada tu mahanadhyam krita abhisheka nayyamika avashyakaha brahmaksharam abhigrananaha muhurtatrayam udakantaha upavivesha. For 3 muhurtas, which is 4.5 hours, he was sitting on the banks of one day. For several years and days he had done the tapas. Now I am going into the crucial story which we are about to narrate, which is a hair-raising story, which is also very difficult to believe. He is already a Brahmajnani in the sense that he has done tapas for several years. He has done puja for 1 crore of years, if you believe that, for a long number of years, certainly no doubt. And he is an acclaimed Jnani, devotee, and what have you. And then one day, down that river, when he was doing his japa, a female deer came to the river to drink water. And at that time, the roar of a lion was heard somewhere in the distance. The deer was naturally frightened, shocked out of its wits, and the deer was pregnant. The female deer was pregnant. The deer jumped across the river to the other bank, and as it jumped shrieking, in total fright, and by that exercise, physical exercise of jumping, the little deer, it delivered of the little deer. The little deer, the young one, fell into the river. Bharata was watching that. Out of compassion, out of natural kripa, he went and caught hold of that young deer, brought it back to the ashram, and reared it, nourished it, fed it, took care of it. The other deer, mother deer, in jumping, it died. So this motherless young deer was being taken care of by Bharata. Remember, every day he was doing his puja, he was doing his archana, he was doing many things. He was living in the total presence of the Lord, both within and without, and such a person now showered his affection on this little deer, young deer, and thought of it. He has renounced the entire kingdom, his 100 sons, his palace, his everything. And here the affection was poured on this little deer. He thought it was his. Tatra tada rajanne harini pipasaya jalashaya abhyasam yekaiva upajagama tasya utpadantya antarvartnya daryam mamara nipapata cha mamara tam tvena kunakam kripanam srotasa anushushyamanam abhivichya abhividyam bandhuriva anukampaya rajarshihi bharataha. He was a rajarshi. Adaya mrita mataram iti ashrama padam anayate. So by doing this kind of affection, here is a great lesson for us. Affection is nothing wrong. Affection and love are great qualities of a noble man, certainly a Brahmajnani. Affection and love. But affection certainly ennobles, but attachment entraps. Affection ennobles, attachment entraps. Love elevates you, but desire degrades you. Right? Desire takes you to hell, so to say. What happened here is his affection turned into attachment in due time, slowly, gradually, day by day, every day, as days goes on. Because he has to feed it. He roamed about and got proper grass. After all, it's an young one, motherless. So that anukampa, that affection, slowly changed to attachment. Sometimes, if the deer was not anywhere nearby seen, he said, oh, where has it gone? Where has it gone? He went in search for it. He was doing his japa, he was doing his puja, he was doing things like that. The deer would naturally come and fondle and cuddle around him. And he would think, oh, what a nice thing. Like my own son, this deer is coming and cuddling around me. And he will also cuddle around it and lose his japa. Remember, he was such a person, what a fall, that's what is happening. And he describes it here. Aho batayam harinapunakaha kripana ishwara ratha charana paribhramana ramayana swagana suhrit bandhubhyaha parivarjitaha sharanam cha mopasaditaha mameva mata avisaro bhratrijnatin yautikaschaiva upeyaya nanyam kanchana veda mayi ati vishrabdhaschata avayatayeva maya matparayanasya poshana palana prinana lalanam anasuya ananushtheyam sharanyapeksha dosha vidusha. So, the poshana, the nourishing, the feeding, palana, the protecting, the prinana, the nurturing, lalana, the fondling, all these things was being done by him. And this fall is described terribly, The fall from the spiritual heights in which he lived to the ordinary, the whole thing. He describes, he used to do the puja. He used to do the puja. And he used to do before the arrival of the deer, he used to get simply lost in that devotion and worship and remain there in that samadhi. Even the puja was forgotten to the extent in that trance samadhi. Do you understand what I am saying? That is, yes. Pulagashram paridavashayabhirasham upavatosham avirta purusha parichetya bhagavate pravardhana anuraga. Like that. it says here someplace that as he was doing his puja, because he was concentrating on the Lord, he even forgot the very fact that he was doing the puja. That is usually difficult to understand, but I have the experience myself of having observed my father. You see, we do Lalita Sahasranama, he used to do Lalita Sahasranama every day. And to the Archana, Srimad Namaha, Srimad Namaha, Om, Srimad Simha Sanishwati Namaha, Om, Chidatikunda Sambhuta Jai Namaha, Om. It goes on. Sometimes he would ask me to read it. So I would read it, he would mentally probably be repeating it, probably not, but he will be doing this. I will be sitting there and reading. And on several days, but on one day certainly I remember, and Bhakti Matkalpa Ladika Jai Namaha Om, Purushatta Pradana Jai Namaha Om, Chitye Namaha Om, Tatpada Lakshyartha Jai Namaha Om, Jade Krasarupunyai Namaha Om. I am going on, but then I look up and see his hand is not going further. He is stopping there and he is quiet. I will go back to my previous archana, that word, and find that it is Tatpada Lakshyarthaye Namaha. Chitye Namaha Tatpada Lakshyarthaye. Tatpada. Tat Tat is Lord. Pada. Tatpada Lakshyartha. This goddess, Lalita, whom we are doing archana, is Tatpada Lakshyartha. She is the final destination of the word Tat. Tat indicates her Lakshyartha. The whole full meaning, the essential meaning of Tat is right before us. Tatpada Lakshyarthaye Namaha Om, Tatpada Lakshyartha, and he stops there for probably a minute or two or maybe. And then this Tatpada Lakshyarthayam Chide Krasarupunyai Namaha Om, Swatmananda Lavibhuta Brahmadhyananda Samsatye Namaha Om, Parajayam. It goes on. I have seen it. Like that, this Bharata, Jada Bharata, doing his archanas, he lost in that their devotional worship and forgot he was doing the puja. Even puja mapi nasasmara, he says somewhere. I am not able to locate it right now. It is there. So, such a person now, he decides, why a Sahasranama? After all, the Lord is everywhere. For him, even one is enough. So, Ashtottaram is enough. So, the Sahasranama becomes Ashtottara. Because he wants more time to take care of this deer. Because he has to go get food, he has to take care of it, he has to bathe it, he has to clean it, he has to... And then he has to play with it because it plays around him. And then the Ashtottara becomes, why? Where it is said that only Ashtottara should be done. Only even 10 names should, Dvadasha names should be all right, Keshavaya Namaha, Narayana Namaha. So that thing became even the 12 names. And then it comes to, this is what happens to attachment. Attachment will slowly eat us up. So like that, it went on. Finally, all his spiritual activity came to a dead stop. He was totally taking care of the deer, doing well. I mean, doing a good job of it. But that was all that he was able to do. But time passes. The God of death does not wait. So he came. He knew it, that the end was near. And the deer is somewhere there. He caught hold of it. He was thinking of the deer. He was thinking of what would happen to the deer if he passes away. And he passed away. He was born as a deer. He was born as a deer. You remember the Gita shloka? Yam yam va vismaran bhavam teyatyante kalevaram tamtamevaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavita. 8th adhyaya. Whatever you are thinking of at the last moment, you become that. Here. is a standard example. This great Bharata, Rajarshi, greatest of Mahatmas, Mahan. This Mahan, because of this attachment to that deer and thinking of it all the time and forgetting his thing. So, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam, whatever bhava you are in at the last moment, that is how you are born. And he was born as a deer. But his puja, his dedication, his worship did not let him down. He remembered his previous birth, even in the body of a deer. He was born somewhere on the Sindhu river, in the west coast, in the west. This deer, what did it do? Immediately remembered everything. It went towards Pulahashrama, isolated itself from the rest of its contemporaries, and lived there in the Pulahashrama, where all the tapas had been done in the previous janma. Now, the deer was very clear that I am not going to be attached to anything now. So the deer did not want to get attached to any other deer. It went and lived in the company of the sadhus who were there doing tapas in Pulahashrama. And that life passed. At the end of that, when the end came of the deer's life, of course the deer cannot speak, but here he says, at the end of that, when the deer knew that the end was going to come, the deer goes into the river, the same Kentucky river, stands on 2 feet, raises its other 2 feet up to the heavens and says, Yajnaya dharmapataye vijinaipunaya yogaya sankeshirase pragatishwaraya narayanaya haraye namayityudaram hasyan mrigat tvamapiya samudajagara. Shuka Brahman in winding up this story at the end after some time, because we have just begun the story now. At the end of that he says, what, can there be a match to this story? Who even in the birth of the deer, in the form of the body of a deer, was able to speak only the Lord's name, because it remembered the previous birth. Yajnaya dharmapataye vidhi naipunaya yogaya sankeshirase pragatishwaraya narayanaya haraye namaha iti udaram hasyan mrigattvamapi samudajagara. To that Brahmajnani Jadabharata, he is making pranam, Shukacharya, in his winding up shloka. Anyway, so that way it cast off its deer coil, mortal coil, and the next birth of this deer was in a Brahmin's family, Angiras Gotra. No name is mentioned now. There are certain places where, crucial times, the scriptures don't mention names. Nobody knows Kuchela's original name. Kuchela was a given name, a causal name. People called him. Right? He did not have good clothes, dirty clothes, Kuchela. His original name nobody knows. Sudama is the word spoken of in North Indian literature, but even Sudama is not his original name. Sudama again is a causal name. So, we don't know. Similarly, the Brahmin who brought a letter from Krishna to Rukmini in the 10th skanda, the crucial letter which made her go to that temple and so on, Krishna, the Brahmin who took that letter, the Brahmin's name is not mentioned anywhere, we don't know. So here, Jadabharata's name in that birth, in the other birth, is not mentioned. So whenever expositors or this book refers to him, it refers as Bharata. But he is also called Jadabharata, as you will presently see. He was born in the Brahmin family. This Brahmin was a great religious, ethical, moral, noble, very dharmatma, a good person. He had 2 wives. His first wife, by first wife he had 9 sons. By his second wife he had twin. The twin was 1 male, 1 female. That male boy was Bharata, born as. This much we know. by what Shukacharya says. Remember, only Shukacharya's authority here, what all we are saying. Yastu tatra pumamsam parama bhagavatam rajarshi pravaram bharatam utshishtam gashariram charama sharirena vipratvam gatamahu. This was his last birth. This Bharata's last birth. Tatrapi swajana sangacha brisham udvijamanaha. He remembered the previous births, previous lives. And therefore, from the time of his birth, as he grew up in that Brahmin family, he would not speak, he would not talk to anybody, he would not respond intelligently, he would do nothing. Jada. Therefore he is called Jada Bharata. He was a total Jada. Because he was totally scared of any attachment. Brisham Udvijamanaha Bhagavataha Karma Bandha Vidvamsana Shravana Smarana Guna Vivarana Charana Ravinda Yugalam Manasa Vidada Atmanaha Pratighatam Ashankamanaha. Because everything is a Karma Bandha. Shravana, Smarana, Guna Vivarana, Charana Ravinda Yugalam. So anything will cause an attachment, anything will become a vasana. Therefore, he Bhagavatham Grahena Anusprutasva Purvajanma Avalihi Atmanam Unmatta Jadam Davadiras Surupena Darshayavasa Lokasya. He showed himself as a Jadanda Badiras Surupena. Jada as an inert idiot, Andha as a blind man. He would not see anything, like this Gandhi's thing, like that. He behaved like that all the time. Darshayavasa Lokasya. But the father was a great religious person. He's a good person. What would he do with such a son? He would want to educate him and teach him the ways, give him an Yajnopavita, give him the Upanayana Samskara, and then teach him the Vedas. That is what he wanted to do. He tried very hard. He gave the Upanayanam to him. He gave the Gayatri to him. But he is a Brahmajnani. This Brahmajnani does not need any Gayatri. He would not do any such thing. The father was totally, disappointed, desperate, disillusioned. And in that disillusionment, the father died. His own mother, this mother, that is the second wife, who was the mother of this boy, followed the father. It simply says followed the father. In what sense, we don't know. Maybe it was a sati type of thing. So it followed the father. So this boy had to be in the care of his stepbrothers. But he was a Jadanda Badhira. He was a total idiot for all purposes, outward purposes. So nobody cared for him. They stopped all his education. All these people were going to some kind of a school, Vedanta, Veda, whatever. But they stopped his education. They only used him for menial work. They asked him to do this, he will do that. You carry this, he will carry that. Unless he is asked to stop, he won't stop. You go there, he will go in. Right? He will be put in the fields and asked to dig using a spade. He will keep on digging until somebody comes and says stop. One man came, the town people, the city people, village people also came and extracted work from him. Because he was eating well, they were feeding him. Of course, they were feeding him rotten food. He ate anything that they gave. Oh, those words here you should see. Yeah. Okay. Let me read this in Sanskrit and do whatever I can in English. Sacha prakritaihi dvipada pashubihi. Animal in two legs. All his brothers were like that. They were very much educated in Karma Kanda. They did not know the Vedanta part, the Jnana part of that. Therefore, they could not understand that this man could be a great person. So, Sacha Prakritaihi, Vipadavashubihi, Unmatta Jada Badireti, Abhivashyamanaha, Yada Tad Anurupani Prabhashate, Karmani Cha Sakadyamanaha, Parechaya Karoti, Vishtitaha, Vetanatagava, Yamchaya, Yadrikshayava, Upasaditam, Alpam Bahu, Mrishtam, Kadannamba, Pyakbhavati, whatever came to his way, Yadrikshayava, if they give him, or somebody gives him, that is what he will eat. Abhyavaharati param Nendriya Priti Nimittam, not to satisfy his senses. Nitya Nivritta Nivritta Swasiddha Vishuddhanubhava Ananda Swatmulabhadigamaha Sukadukhayoho Dvandva Nimittayoho Asambhavita Degabhimanaha. Because for him there was no body. He was not thinking of his body. He was not conscious of his body. So they were giving him anything, he was eating. They did not give him anything, he did not protest. He did not want anything, he did not refuse anything. What will you do with such a man? Shitoshnava Shitoshnavatavarsheshu Vrishaiva Anavratangaha. So they had only the minimum clothing on him. And that clothing remained on him for all time. Unwashed, uncleaned. So it was dirty. He smelled, he was thinking if you go near him. But he didn't care, his body. Shitoshnavatavarsheshu Vrishaiva, like a bull. Anavratangaha, Pina, Sanghananangaha. He became very robust because he was not doing anything. There was no worry. There was no. His body grew, and he was such a robust young man. Big like that. Pina, Sanghananangaha, Standila Samveshana, Mardana, Majjana Vajasa, Mahamaniriva, Anabhyakta Brahmavarchasa. There is Brahmavarchas inside. So there was a sparkling, shining from him. There is Brahmavarchas. Mahamanirive Anabhivyakta Brahmavarchasaha Kupatavrita Kati Upavitena Urumashina Dvijatiriti. The Yajnopavita that was done on him by his father, that was the only indication that he was a Brahmin. So he was a Brahma Bandhu. That is what people thought. People who did not meet him earlier, people did not know about him, they thought, hey, he is a Brahma Bandhu, somebody who must have been a Brahmin, but he looks like a Chandala. Brahma Bandhuriti Samjnaya Tajna Janavamataha Vichachara Yadatu. This sentence is the crucial sentence which is sentimentally very difficult to accept. Yadatu Parata Aharam Karmavetana Ikamanaha Swabhratarapi Kedara Karmani Nirupitaha Tadapi Karoti Kintu Na Samam Vishamam Nyunam Adhikam Iti Veda Kanapinyaka Palikarana Kulmasha Sali Purishadini Api Amritavate Abhyavaharati. So they put him in the fields. They asked him to dig Kedara Karmani. He does it. Na samam, vishamam, nyunam, adhikam. When you dig a place, there is a purpose. You have to at least bring it to some level or something. He doesn't know what is level, what is not. Na samam, na visham, whether you have dug too much or not, he doesn't know, he doesn't care. Na samam, vishamam, nyunam, adhikam, whether you have dug up the ground too much or too little, you do not know. Others have to tell him, na veda. And further, kana, that is, kana is rice flour. Whatever they give, rice flour. Pinyaka is punnak. What is the English word? Oil cake. You know oil cake? I don't know what it is. Pinyaka, kana pinyaka, palikarana, where is it? Chaff. That is the husk. These are what was given to him. Palikarana, kulmasha. Kulmasha is spoiled pulses. You put it in the vessel and then it burns. Yes, charred food. Stali Purisha. Stali Purisha means charred food. Charred food. Whatever they gave, Amritavate Abhyavaharati, as if it is nectar he was eating. The commentator says, Shukacharya said this, Parikshit listened to this, and they have put it into words. How did they do it? This Brahmajnani is being tortured like this. This is what happened. There was a rich man. He had faith in Mother Goddess Kali. Now, it's a different scene now. Because the story goes in different scenes. Mother Kali. Kali, he decides to give to, this rich man decides to give a Narabali, human sacrifice. He arranges for it. And the Narabali person is already a captive in that house, in that temple or whatever. And all arrangements are being made that tomorrow morning, the next morning, going to be the Narabali. And this victim who was supposed to be the victim for the Narabali, escapes. At the last moment, they are in need of a person for the Narabali because the ritual of human sacrifice has to be gone through. So he sends his assistants all over the place. Oh, go and get somebody. They come and look around. This Jadabharata is sitting on the field, robust, young man, fully grown, with everything. So nice. So they come and tap him and take him. He is not protesting. He is not asking where he is being taken. They tell him, we are going to take you for Narabali. He does not respond. He is coming. They have never seen such a person coming for Narabali, just like that, as if willingly in their life. They have done many such times perhaps. They are taking him. So he is taken there. He is taken there, fed well, washed, cleaned for the first time in his life, and dressed up with all silk clothes, silken clothes, whatever, decorated with ornaments. He doesn't care. It is all from the body. So, he's there. The next day, they seat him before the idol, Kali icon, and do all the mantras or whatever. And then finally, the sword is raised to cut his head. Nainam chindanti shastrani nainam dahati vavaga. Gita. You see, nothing can cut this body. Nothing can burn this body. And he is just like that. But Mother Goddess would not allow it. She comes out of the idol in most terrifying form. There are probably about half a dozen people around, those fellows who are doing this. She simply cuts their heads, all of them. And it says, she plays with them. She played football with them, it says. Shirak Kandu with their heads. Shirak Kandu Kalilaya. So naturally, our Jadabharata was saved. But we don't know what happened to him afterwards. The story is taken into another scene. Shukacharya is very dramatically saying all these things because I think he enjoys it. You see, Shukacharya himself is a Brahmajnani. Probably this is the only other Brahmajnani in the world with whom he identifies himself. So he is saying, Ata Sindhu Sauvira Pate, Sindhu Sauvira, Sauvira, I don't know what country it is. Sindhu Sauvira, there is a kingdom, Sauvira kingdom. Maybe I think it is Gujarat. Sindhu Sauvira Pate, Raghu Ganasya, there is a king called Raghu Gana. Raghu Ganasya Vrajata Ikshumatyas Tate. There must be a river called Ikshumati there. Research has to be done on these things. Ikshumati. These commentators are not helpful in these things. They must actually say Ikshumati where it is. They are not saying. Either you cannot find it or you don't know. So Raghu Ganasya Vrajata Ikshumatyas Tate Tat Kulapatina Shibika Vaha Purusham Vesha Samaye Daivena Upasaditaha Sadvijavaraha Upalabdaha Yesha Piva Yuva Samgananga Go Karavate Dhuram Vodum Alamiti Purvavishti Grihitaisa Grihitaha Prasabham Atadarha Uvaha Shibikam Samahanubhavaha. So there is a Raghu Gana, a king of Sauvira country. He wants to learn the basics and Atmajnana, spirituality, from Kapila Muni, and therefore she goes on a pilgrimage, a kind of a travel, a long distance, sure, that is in the northeast part of the country. So he has to go there. So he is going in a palanquin, palak, palanquin, palang. What is it? Is it? In Hindi is it called palang? No, palang is palkin. So palanquin, palkin. Okay. So he is going in that kind of a palanquin. 8 palanquin bearers. 8 bearers of that. So it goes on. As it's such a long distance traveling, one of the bearers falls sick or something, so they need an assistant. They need a substitute. So the man who is the monitor of all those things goes in search of that, and they find this robust young man roaming about in the woods as if to no purpose, just like that. He is not doing anything. He is just roaming about. He is in Sakshal, always you see, he is in Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Cha Mai Pashyati. So for him, everything is God, everything is Brahman for him, and he is reveling in that. He is going, just walking. So they go and catch him, and they bring him along and make him carry the bear be one of the 8 bearers of the palanquin. Go Karavati, he is like a bull, he says. Therefore, he can easily be a substitute for us, and they bring him. Yada hiddujavarasya ishumatravalokanakatehe na samahita purushagati tada vishamakatam swashivikam radu gana upadhargya purusham adivagata aha he vodharaha sadhu atikramata kimiti vishamam muhyate yanamiti. Now he has been a king himself in his previous janma. He is such a great Mahan. To be asked to carry the palanquin like that, I mean, he cannot coordinate with the other 7 people. He walks leisurely, slowly, just like that, as he was walking there in the woods. So naturally there is a total discordance between the other 7 and himself. So the palanquin does this thing. So the Raja steps out, looks out and says, hey, what is happening here? Why are you all doing this? Then naturally the boss, it is not our, oh king, it is not our fault. It is this fellow whom we just brought. He came just now. This newcomer is the problem. So he looks at him, and the king, the pride, the ego, the status, the majesty, the tradition, the vasana of the king makes him say the following. Aho kashtam bharata vyaktam vyaktam uru parishrantaha dirghamadhvanam eka eva uhivani suchiram nati piva asamhanangaha jarasa cha upadhrutaha bhavan sakheno eva aparayete sangattina iti bahu avipralabdaha api avidyaya. Aho kashtam bharata, my dear brother, he talks in a satirical form. Hey, brataha, my brother, oh, you are alone, you are not being helped, you are lean. This man is really strong. You are lean, you have come a long distance, therefore you are tired. Huh? These people are not tired, these people are not lean like you, and you are very old. Actually, this man is very young. So, this satirically, he ridicules his position and says, and he meant that to correct him. But this man simply rubbed it off. He's all only saying for the body. I am not, and nothing on me. And he kept going as usual. So the again the palanquin shakes and jolts, and now the king looks out and strikes him with a cane. That is not here. The expositors say it is there in the Vishnu Purana or some other place, that point of striking him. Now he is carrying this on his right shoulder like that. Now he turns this way, puts it on his left shoulder, and for the first time Bharata, Jada Bharata talks. Now starts your lesson of Brahmagyana. This is the whole purpose of the whole story. Now when he talks, converses, it becomes worse. This man has not talked even to his father, even at the time of Yajnopavita. You see, you have to say Badham, he never said that. So like that. Now, this portion, which starts on chapter 10 of Skanda 5, chapter 10, chapter 11, chapter 12, chapter 13, 4 chapters of Jadabharata's sermon to Raghugana, conversation. Raghugana replies like a Gita here. This is very elaborate. I mean, we won't have time to say all that because it's very technical and very dense. But I will try to give you some samples. Tvayoditam yaktam avipralabdam bhattus samesya adhyadivira bharaha gantuvya disya daligam yamadhva pireti rasho navidam pravadagam. You said that I cannot bear this weight. What is weight? Who is carrying whom? Only if somebody is carrying somebody else, there will be a weight. You know where he is going already. Already he is talking at the highest level. So that is Ganturya Isya. He say, you have come a long distance, he said. Only if there is a place to go and there is a distance, the question of distance comes. Ganturya Isya Dadigamya Madhva Piveti Rasha Navidam Pravadagam. Piveti Rasha. Only if something grows, there is question of fat or lean or whatever. Saulyam Karsyam Yadhaya Adayascha Chutyam Bhayam Kaliricha Jaracha Nidraratir Manjuraham Madashucho Degena Jatasya Himena Santi. You talked of Saulyam, fatness, you talked of Karsyam, leanness, you talked of Yadhi, Adhayascha, you talked of hunger, you talked of thirst, you talked of fear, you talked of what? Kalihi, desire, Icha, desire, you talked of old age, you talked of sleep, you talked of pleasure, you talked of anger, you talked of Aham Madhaha, Ahankar, you talked of purity. Only for a man who has been with a body, all these things apply. For me, they don't apply. Jivan mritatvam yamena rajam adyantavat vigritasya ganishtam swaswamya bhavo druvayidhyayatra tarhyuchyate so vidivritya yoga. You talked of Jivan mrita. He was scolded as, you living corpse. Jivan mrita. You living corpse. Actually, he is a Jivan mukta. Right? He was scolded as Jivan Mrita. So Jivan Mritatvam, for whom does Jivan Mrita, living corpse, for whom does it apply? Only that which has a beginning and which has an end. Adyantavam Tribhutasya Drishtam. This palanquin bearer, one of them, is talking like this and the king is shocked. You will see now. So Swamya Bhavo Druvayidhyayatra. Swami, the laborer, the master, the servant. You see, master, servant, this thing. Because he has said all that. And I did not tell you all that. He talked about master, servant. You are my servant, you are not listening to me, that kind of thing. So, Vishesha Buddhe Vivaram Manapcha Pashyamayam Navyavaharato Onyate Kaishwaras Tatra Kinishitavyam. Who is Ishwara? Who is the one who is who has a master? Where is the master? Where is the servant? The master and the servant is only a temporary role. You are there, I am here. I can be there and you can be here. It will take no time. Still, I am in this position now. I will certainly do what you say. He says, you see, in the second time when they complain, he said, now I am going to give you a punishment which you will never forget. And he does that. Right? And here he says, what punishment can you give to me? I have already given punishment to my body. I am behaving as Ummatta Matta Jadavate. I am behaving like a madman. I am behaving like a jadam, idiot, inert. I have already given punishment to this. It is eating what all it gets. It is taking whatever it gets. I have given punishment to this body. What other punishment can you give to this body? And it is Stabda Pramattasya cha Pishtapeshaha. Pishtapeshaha. Powdering a powdered stuff. Arachamava Arakya. That's English. Pishtapesha Sanskritam. Pishtapesha. So already I have given punishment to this body. What other punishment can you give to this? Pishtapesha. You are only powdering powdered stuff. The king was shocked. Jumped down. Made a Saktantana. How are you? You are talking like this. What are you? Are you Kapila himself? Because he is going towards Kapila. Kapila himself has come in this. You have an Ethiopolita. You look like a Brahmin. Oh, I have insulted a Brahmin. I can swear, I can bear sword thrusts. I have fought many times. I am not afraid of any such thing. But I am afraid of Brahmana Shapa. I have insulted a Brahmin. What is this? He made a Sashtang Pranam and said, who are you? And then he asked questions, beautiful, interesting questions. He says, excuse me, you see, you have to read and understand it. It is so good here. He just says, the king says, you said that that punishment given to the body does not affect me, you said. The king gives an example. You have a vessel, put water and rice in it and put it on the oven, stove, over the oven. And the heat goes into the vessel, the whole heat goes into the water, and then heat goes to the rice, and the rice is cooked. How can Atma, which is inside the body, be impervious to all the troubles and pains and sufferings of the outside? I have suffered myself. I have been in the battleground. I have suffered, and when I come home, I want to rest. I want to rest so that I get refreshed and so on. So I know what is pain. I know what is suffering. I know what is rest. How can the body's suffering not be transferred to the Atma which is inside, the soul which is inside? So he says, yes, Salyagnipata, Salyagnitapa, Payayo Payasobitapa, Tattapastandulagadbharandi, Salyagnitapa, Sali means the vessel. That Agnitapa, that heat, it goes into the water. Payasobitapa, Tattapastandulagadbharandi, the water, and then the water heat goes into the rice. Rice is Dehendriyasya Vishayasannikarsha, Tat Samsmriti Purushasya Anurodha. The Dehendriya, the Indriyas and the senses and the Deha and the body, whatever suffering they have, it must go inside and it must affect the Atma inside. How can it be not like that? And then you say about master and servant and so on. As a master, I have to get things done by people and I have to do that. And it is as my Swadharma, Swadharma Aradhanam Achyutasya Yadigamano Vijagatyado. How can it be a sin to me? Please explain all this. You look like a great philosopher, great jnani. I am sorry that I have done this. I apologize. I make Sashtang Pranam to you. Please pardon me, but tell me. And then he starts. Now Jadabharata has left off all his silence now. He is interested in telling, he is talking now. You remember in Gita, by the way, what is the time now?
11:10.
Okay. Ashotcha Nambashostastam Prajnavadamscha Bhagavate. Hey Arjuna, you should not grieve about such things, you should not be grieved. You talk like a great learned man. Ashotcha Nambashostastam Prajnavadamscha Bhagavate. You talk as if you are an intelligent man. He starts like this here. Agovida. You see, you are talking totally foolish things, but you talk like an intelligent person. You see, the Vedas and the Vedanta which is there in the Vedas cannot be understood by just having mundane examples. You are bringing an example of a vessel, a most mundane example, and try to understand the Atma and the Indriya within. The Atma is untouched by these things. And he starts about Kshetrajna. Yes, Kshetrajnayeta manaso vibhutir jivasya maya rachitasya nitya Kshetrajna atma purusha purana sakshat swayam jyotirachah paresha narayano bhagavan vasudeva samayaya atmanyavadiyavana. That is the Kshetrajna inside. He is watching everything totally uncontaminated by the Kshetra. He is the Purusha. He is the living person inside. He is eternal. He is Sakshat Swayam Jyoti. He is your consciousness. Ajaha, Pareshaha, Narayana, Bhagavan, Vasudeva, Swamaya, Atmani, Avadiyamana. By his Maya, he is doing all these things. The Dukkham, Sukham, all those things which are coming, they are only coming to the outside. They are not touching the inside. And he goes like that. In order to understand this, don't think you can just understand by conversing to me. Go and fall at the feet of a guru. He says, Brahdravyamenam tata bhraviryam upechayadhyoditam apramattaha gurur haresh charanopasastro jahibhyalikam swayamatma mosham Guru harehe charanopasana. Unless you fall at the feet of a guru, you cannot learn these things. These things cannot be learned by, yes, Yes. Jnanam vishuddham paramarthamekam anantaram to bahirbrahma satyam pratyak prashantam bhagavat shabda sakyam yadvasudevam kavayo vadanti. Before that another shloka. Ayam jano nama chalano prathivyam yapartiva kasya neto tasya apicham griyorapi gunpa jangha januru madhyora shirodharam saha. He describes the body from feet, ankles to the head. Feet, ankles, leg, thigh, hip, chest, short, like that. And so it is all in a kind of thing. Body has been put one upon the other. This is the body. This is like a mud pot, a clay pot. Your palang, your falki, that is palanquin, this is another clay pot. This clay pot is sitting in the other clay pot. You think there is something different. There is nothing different. What is inside is the same. It is there, it is here, it is everywhere. Jnanam vishuddham paramarthamekam anantaram tvabahir brahma satyam. Vishuddham jnanam paramartham ekam anantaram. It has no antara. There is no gap between them. It is continuous, not discrete. Tvabahihi. It has no outside, no inside. Brahma satyam is all Upanishad. Brahma satyam. Pratyak prashantam pratyak. It is internal, it is immanent, prashantam, peaceful. Bhagavat shabda sagyam. It is known by the term of Bhagavan. Yet Vasudevam kavayo vadanti. Great people call it Vasudeva. Raghugana, he calls him by name. Raghugana, etat tapasana yati. This is not coming by tapas. You know, you remember a Kathopanishad shloka that not by learning, not by reading, not by writing, you can learn these things. Raghugana tapasana yati najejaya nirvapana grihatva nachandasa. From the Vedas you cannot have this. Jalakni Sogyai, by standing in the midst of Jala or Agni or Surya, you cannot get this. Mahatpada Rajobhishekam. Only by going to the association with great people, you will be able to get this. Yatrottama shloka gunanuvada prastuyate kramya katha vigataham ishevyamano anudinam mumukshogo matim satim yachati vasudeve anudinam. It is not enough to go to them once. You have to go to them every time, every day, anudinam, because the vasana is so dense in us that it has to go again and again. Vishevyamanaha anudinam mumukshoho. And you go to them not to compare in any secular way. He does not use the word secular, I am saying. That is, you have to go with a mumukshu's attitude. Mumuktum icha, moksham praptum icha. That is mumukshu. So you have to go with the desire to obtain the moksha. You should not go to them in the hope of comparing them with somebody else. Oh, yesterday he said it well. He is doing this, compare, we do all that. We listen to Ramayana, we listen to Bhagavatham, we listen to Purana Pravachana, Vedanta Pravachana. When we start comparing, we do not get the essence into us. So, Mumukshor Matim Satim Yakshati Vasudeve. Don't think I am just preaching. I was Ahampura Bharato Nama Raja Vivatta Dhritta Chuta Sangha Bandha. I was a king myself. I was Bharata. I did all the aradhana. Because of that aradhana, I remembered myself in my next birth of the year also. And now I have got this birth. Remember, only by worshipping the Lord and only by going to the and serving at the feet of a guru, you will learn and you will get this moksha. And he describes the forest of samsara. In samsara, there are enemies. They are always ready to grab you. They are inside you, they are outside you, they are in the form of your friends, they are in the form of your kith and kin, they are in the form of your boss, they are in the form of your other Laukik people. Therefore, you must be constantly alert about them. And he concludes by saying, Raghu ganattvamapi hyadvanosya sanyastadanda kritabhuta maitraha asajjitatma harisevayashitam Jnanasi madaya tarati param. Jnanasi madaya tarati param. Jnanasi na Gita. Jnana asi. Asi is sword. The sword of wisdom. The sword of knowledge. By the sword of knowledge, you should be able to make the discrimination between the ephemeral and the transcendent and the permanent, and that is how you will be able to cross this ocean of samsara, which is full of hurdles, full of obstacles, full of dangers. And with that, he concludes his sermon, and Raghugana immediately, and then he says, now you can get into your palanquin and go. He says, I am not going into this clay pot again. For this clay pot, that clay pot is not anymore necessary. And he goes to the forest, does his tapas, and Shukacharya concludes, as I told you, by saying, where has, because Parikshit asks about this forest of samsara. So Shukacharya himself gives a long explanation in prose of this forest of samsara. It is all very graphically described, the difficulties in the various levels of samsara in life and how we have to overcome them. And then he says, we must do our prostrations to this great Brahmajnani Jada Bharata. Because of this Bharata, this Varsha, this country is called Bharatavarsha. Before that it was called Ajanabharsha. So, Yajnaya Dharma Patage Vijnai Punaya Yogaya Sankesharase Prakritishwaraya Narayanaya Haraye Namayityudaram Hasyam Rigatvapi Yes Samudayagara. Even in the body of the deer, he was able to remember the name of the Lord and take the name of the Lord at that last moment. To him, our prostrations. And I say that anybody who listens to the story, who tells the story, who thinks of the story, he is taken to moksha. That is a palashruti given there at the end. So that takes us to the end of the 14th adhyaya of chapter of Skanda 5. The remaining part of Skanda 5, which is another 50-60 pages, is full of geography, cosmic geography. You see, all that is described. We are omitting all that because that is a separate thing by itself. The next day we will go into the 6th skanda. By cosmic geography I mean Bharata, Kim Purusha. I can at least show off this thing and this thing. That is, quickly, okay, we'll take 2 or 3 minutes to tell you. There is a Jambu Dvipa. Around that there is a salt ocean. Then there is a Plaksha Dvipa. There is an ocean of sugar cane. There is a Shalmala Dvipa. There is an ocean of wine. Kushad Madhu, the ocean of Madhu. Kushad Dvipa, ocean of ghee. Krauncha Dvipa, ocean of milk. Shaka Dvipa, ocean of curd. Pushkara Dvipa, ocean of pure water. Beyond that the sun will not reach. Each one is millions of yojanas, all the measurements are given and so on. All this is Jambu Dvipa. Right? All this is the universe. Within the Jambu Dvipa, different varshas, Kuru Varsha, Hiranmaya Varsha, Ramyaka Varsha, Ketumana Varsha, Bhadrashva Varsha, Hari Varsha, Kimpurusha Varsha, Bharata Varsha. Bharata Varsha is at the end. Everything is north and north and north. The Meru is in the center. There are Meru Parvata. And then all those descriptions are there. In each Varsha, who is the Lord, who are the people that are living there, they are all described. For example, in Kimpurusha Varsha, people in Bharata Varsha cannot go beyond Bharata Varsha. They will not be accessible, they cannot see it from anywhere. That is the meaning of that. So, in Kimpurusha Varsha, Hanuman is doing the tapas for the next Brahma throne. He will become the next Brahma after this Brahma is gone. This Brahma has another 40 years of his time. Okay? And it goes on. Like that, in each Varsha, there are people who are doing tapas and so on. Who are the people there? All those things are described. This way, the chapter 5, Skanda 5, ends at the end. And then, in chapter Skanda 6, there is the Ajamila Upakhyana. Ajamila is a great Brahmin, fallen from his good ways and became a sinner, and his story is talked about. That will be in, that is on the next day. The day after that, we will have Prahlad Charita. Swastik Prajabhyat Paripalayantamya Yena Margena Mahim Mahisho Go Brahmane Bheshubhamastu Nityam Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Are there any questions?
You mentioned about karma bandha, where he said about even hearing, talking, everything is binding. Is that what it meant? So, then how do we go about doing anything? Is everything is binding?
No, at this point, so long as we have not come up to that stage, we have to do all that Shravana, Manana, all those things, karma, all those things. In his level, you see, this Jadabartha level is so high, at that level, they will behave like that. The Siddha Prajna thing is described in the Gita, and he is Siddha Prajna. You see? So, there is a Brahmajnani level. For him, it doesn't apply to us. We have to. We are totally in the Vyavaharika. You have been shown a most ideal person who has transcended. I mean, there are people who can be like that. Shukracharya was like that. Shukracharya was like that. That is why even the ladies did not worry about their status at the when they were bathing in the river and Shukra was passing by. Whereas they worried when his father Vyasa was passing by. Have I told you that? I think I have told you that. So you see, that is Shukracharya, that is Jadabharata, that is Sadashiva Brahmendra of recent times, 16th century, 15th century, 14th century, Sadashiva Brahmendra. These people are of that category. A Sadashiva Brahmendra, a Jadabharata, a Shukracharya. These are the three great Brahmajnanis. I mean, 100% Brahmajnanis. Everybody else is only a 99%, 90% like that. These are 100% Brahmajnanis.
What is Sadashiva Brahmendra?
What is what? Sadashiva Brahmendra? Your question?
Yeah.
Sadashiva Brahmendra, oh boy, that's a great story. Well, you can go to my website and go to Sadashiva Brahmendra. It is under A Dose of Mythology. There is a chapter called A Dose of Mythology. There is, what is his name? Come on, in Tamil. Tirumoolar. There is Tirumoolar and Sadashiva. Two people I have described. Tirumoolar was like that. Sadashiva Brahmendra was like that. Sadashiva Brahmendra, well, you can't ask me where he was born, when he was born, nothing. We don't know anything. But he was a Brahmin thing, and he behaved like a Jada, Amda, Badika, like that, even from his birth. So they thought that by marriage he will be set all right. So they performed a marriage on him. So a lady came to him. Oh, he didn't care. He had totally transcended his body, mind, intellect. So nothing happened to him. Nothing happened. Nothing. But they bothered him so much. You know, once they have made him go through the performance of a marriage, then there are so many things that follow, and they bothered him. And he simply could not stand it. He simply walked out. Okay? So by the age of 20, he has already walked out of the family. He was roaming about. Thereafter, everything is folklore. You don't know where he went, what he did. But I think he was in a Gurukula with a guru for some time. He had a guru. But he knew so much. He was already a Brahmajnani. So he interrupted the guru now and then to correct him. The guru got angry. Hey, keep quiet, he said. And he kept quiet for the rest of his life. Brahmajnani. Rest of his life, like Jadabharata. 15th century. Now, he is referred to in the 13th century, 15th century, in the Pandya kingdom, in the Madura, what is that? Nayak kingdom, Nayak Rajas, they mention him. So we don't know how long he lived. Right? And there are stories and stories about him. Each story will be hair-raising, unbelievable. What would you like? You would like one of them? He was walking completely naked. Right? He was walking through a Muslim harem. Completely naked. What would happen to him? So, the Muslim Raja or Nawab or whoever it was, It happened somewhere in the Tamil Nadu state. I mean, the location, everything is stated in the story, I don't remember it. And he simply followed him. I mean, he sent his men, they simply followed him and cut off both his hands. He was walking along without the hand. I said, nothing happened. They brought the hand just fallen down. They brought it to him and said, oh, sorry, we are sorry, you are a great man, you are probably a great Sufi or something. I mean, fell at their feet and said, here is your hand. So he said, put it here. So they put it here and it fitted and he walked away. This is one story. Sir, do we believe it or not? Don't know. It is up to you to believe it or not. Like that. Stories and stories are there. He goes, of course, places are stated. There are places in Nerur near Mahadanapuram or someplace in Trichy district. He goes there, he sits there, in the river, the floods come, and the floods, people see him sitting there doing tapas, and the floods come and go over him. The floods stay there for 3 or 4 days, and then the floods subside, and then he is still sitting there in the same sand mound. Is another story. So you don't know what stories, you don't know. And then right in Mahadanapuram there is this story about him, because he probably roamed about in that area. And that story, the children come and play with him, because he is a Brahmajnani, he just allows anybody to do anything with him. So the children come and play around with him. And they all said, I don't know what, their parents have talked about Meenakshi and in Madura, that Meenakshi Pattabhisheka Utsavam, about that the parents have been talking about in the morning. So the children are after that. Alagar, the Alagar, Mahavishnu gets into the water, Alagar Athilarangal, there's a great festival, lakhs and lakhs of people come there. The parents have been talking about it, so they told the children, tell that to Sadashiva Brahmendra, and he asked them, do you want to see them? Do you want to see it? They all say yes. So he said, all right, get on my shoulders. The parents are searching for the children. The whole night they were not there. The next morning they all arrived. And they are all saying with one voice that they went to Madura, they saw that getting into the water, that festival, they describe everything. The parents are stunned. Nobody knows who took them there. Sadashiva Brahmendra. Like that. There are several stories about Sadashiva Brahmendra. There is in Nerur is a place where there is a samadhi, and even today worship is being done him. Like that. This is Sadashiva Brahmendra. But the thing that certainly survives is, have you heard of Sarvam Brahmamayam Carnatic music? Pibare Ramarasam Carnatic music? Bruhi Mukundeti Carnatic music? All these were composed by him. He was a great Sanskrit scholar, and all his compositions are descriptions of Brahman realization, Sarvam Brahmamayam, like that. All the Pibare Ramarasam, like that. All the wonderful. Carnatic musicians usually sing this song by Sadashiva Brahmendra. So they are before us. And he has done one commentary on Brahma Sutra. It is available. Sadashiva Brahmendra Rachita. Yes.
I want to make a comment about what you were telling us about your father, when he just went into almost like a trance. It's just interesting. I came to think about a story about Guru Nanak, that people oftentimes doing simple things can go into that kind of trance.
Yeah.
Like Guru Nanak was placed, his father was a shopkeeper, the Pansari, where they sell, the grains and all that. And he put him there, and when people used to come, you take a bowl and then you give 1, 2, 8, do. So when somebody came and said, I want 15. So he's counting those, Guru Nanak. But when he went to like 10, Yara, Bara, Tera, Tera,
Tera.
Tera.
Tera. Tera.
So he went into trance.
Yeah.
So everything is yours.
Yeah. Tera. You're right. I've heard this.
So I have a question about commentators. You keep referring to Sridhara. Who is Sridhara? And
Sridhara is a commentator of Bhagavatham, a great commentator who is oft quoted. I have not seen the commentary in original. Now and then I have browsed through it, but I cannot say I have read the commentary, but it is in Sanskrit.
when was he presented?
Sridhara's commentary?
No, but during which time was he?
Yeah, must be in the what? In the I don't have any idea, but sometime, because there are references there to Vishishtadvaita, Ramanuja and other people, so it must be somewhere in the 15th, 16th, 17th centuries. I don't know, maybe it's mentioned somewhere.
Is there any reference in this particular story to the origin of the word vasana? Because in this particular case, he was a Mahatapa person, and he shows the downfall of this one. And I'm trying to understand, where did the origin of the word vasana come in from?
Here it says, look at the prarabdha of this person. Look at the prarabdha of this person. In his sermon to Rahugana, the word vasana he uses. The word vasana he uses. But Shukacharya, in describing when this fall of the switch from spirit has come, he says, look at the prarabdha. And he says, when people asked him to do things, when he was asked to carry the palanquin, he said, all right, I will expend my prarabdha. Thinking like that, he did it, he said, Shukacharya. So the prarabdha. But even Jadamarasa had his prarabdha following him. That much is clear. Yes.
Just a question you mentioned about the Guru. How do you find one?
How do you identify one? How do you find one?
Identify one.
By God's grace. If you go and look for one, you are going to be in trouble. Because all of them look alike or all of them look different. Either way. So it is very difficult. It's God's grace. But one thing I can tell you. The moment you feel you have found one, not that you have found the right one, I am not talking. The moment you feel you have found the one, stick to him. Now don't start assessing him and comparing him. Because it is not the Guru that is important, it is the Guru's words that are important. You have faith in the Guru's words, that is enough. Your faith in the Guru might be a little this way, that way. But that is not important. What is important is Shraddha in the words of the Guru. That will save you. Shraddha in the mantra that the Guru teaches you. That is important.
When you say stick to him, does that mean you don't listen to other people's?
Not listen to the comparison and then contrast and then trying to judge who is the better Guru. There you are trying.